Hey Minimizers, you're getting ready to watch some footage from one of the Minimalists live events from the Love People Use Things tour. If you'd like to see us on the road, visit theminimalists.com/tour, or you can find all of our live events over at patreon.com/theminimalists. Enjoy.
So I started listening to you guys. I saw your documentary on Netflix a couple years ago, and I've probably minimized around 70 to 80% of my possessions. Got rid of my storage unit a couple months ago. So my question is the remaining items that I do have, I find that there's an intensification of attachment to it. And so I find myself on my days off, I'm like, okay, I want to finish these minimization projects, and I'm almost there. I'm on my last rung of digital organization. My question is, but that's a form of attachment. So in this process, do you guys find that you're able to find a sense of wholeness without being, quote unquote, finished with all of your projects towards minimization?
Yeah, I think we're in an incredibly dangerous place right now. I think this is one of the sort of pernicious aspects of the whole decluttering movement, or whatever you want to call it, tidying up, et cetera. Those things are really helpful. And someone like Marie Kondo understands the why behind the how-to side of things. But quite often, it gets propagated in the media and elsewhere as, hey, if you just declutter your closet, you just declutter your house, then you're going to be happy. Then you're going to be finished. I heard you say it, right? I'm almost finished. Well, that presupposes that there's a finish line and that minimalism is a destination. But it's not. Minimalism is merely the vehicle, right? And so it's taking you wherever you want to go, right? And quite often we mistake the vehicle for the finish line. And it's like, imagine, like Ryan gets into his not Tesla. It's a Toyota. He gets in his Toyota and he wants to go get something to eat, but instead of going to get something to eat, he just gets in the Toyota and says, well, I guess I'm finished, right? I finally got there. You didn't get anywhere, right? It's going to take you where you want to go. And the question is then, what is my arrival point? Where do I want to go? And how will minimalism serve me on that journey? Because otherwise, it just becomes about getting rid of the stuff. And then you'll never get there. You'll turn into a Spartanist, which is the opposite of a hoarder. We did an episode about this recently. So a Spartanist, for those of you who are uninformed, is just an obsessive-compulsive declutterer, basically. And so it's a person who can't stop letting go. Well, we want to avoid that as well. Both of these people are on the same spectrum. Hoarders can't let go of anything. A Spartanist can't hold on to anything. A minimalist is on a different spectrum altogether. It's the intentionality spectrum. And you can be a minimalist like me and Ryan, or you can go even farther and you could be a monk or an ascetic, right? Someone who lives with very few items but does so intentionally. Or you could even be a maximalist. There are some great maximalist designers out there who use objects in a way that is very intentional. It would be clutter for me, but it serves great purpose for them. The question is, how am I going to live my life so that it gets me where I want to go? If you don't know where you want to go, I can promise you won't get there.
I'm trying to say this in the kindest way. There is no finish line with the decluttering projects. Now, there might be a certain thing that's happening where you're finally like tidying up everything, and that's incredible. And I find that, I get tidied up, and then, all the junk drawer starts to become 2 junk drawers, and you're like, oh no, like I have to do this tidying up thing again. But, minimalists, they don't focus on less. They focus on more. It's creating more time. It's creating more freedom, more creativity, more experiences. So the question is what are you freeing up all that time for? What are you freeing up that space for? And maybe you don't have an answer for that, and that's okay. But that's really where I was drawn to minimalism. I didn't see it as a magical bullet answer where it's like, oh, if I throw all my stuff away, I'm going to immediately start experiencing perpetual bliss. Like anyone could do that and still be miserable, right? For me, it was regaining control of my finances. It was regaining control of my time. It was making it so I didn't have to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week to pay off, all that debt that I have accumulated. So, yeah, I would ask yourself, what are you freeing up all of this space for? The literal and the metaphorical space. What are you freeing all that up for?
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Did you enjoy this video? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalists Private Podcast, available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists today. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.